Hey guys, it's Jason Desmond with you again here on the Jantan Collective. This is a place where we try to make some sense of the lunacy that is our reality. But you know what? All this is a learning experience. Remember, don't forget to subscribe. And also, if you have anything to tell us, you have anything to say, please comment below. Now, this question has been, I'm trying to figure out the right word, gnawing at me for quite a while already. They say we are what we eat. What's up with that? Now, today, to help us get into the mindset of being nutritious and healthy and get on a proper diet, because there are so many different kinds of diets out there, we have Adele Wong, ex-personal trainer, nutritionist, certified dietitian, founder of Nutrition Track. And there's so much to get through. We're going to chew on the fat, we're going to dish the dirt, get into some myths that you will debunk. But first of all, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, JD.
All right, so just looking at me, you know I eat quite healthy already, right? What's with the laughter, man? Seriously. So let's just get into how you got into this field. Because I have been stalking you for the past couple of weeks. The moment we found out that, hey, we're going to have a nutritionist with us to talk about being healthy and whatnot, I started trying to be a bit healthier. And I went to the gym. Again, because MCO was quite a while, right? I decided to run a bit. And then I realized you got into this field because of running.
Yeah.
Right? Tell us that story. How did that happen?
So, well, I've always been interested in like the human body and how it worked. I also love food. I guess you would say that I probably love food a little bit more. So basically, my undergrad, I did medical bioscience. And during that time, I was very active in running. So I joined a lot of races across Malaysia, different stuff, competed quite competitively.
Like what kind of races?
Like 10Ks, one marathon, half marathons, and things like that. Yeah, so really active during that time. And I love fitness and everything. And during that time, I felt that nutrition was something that's not really thought of. It's always neglected. So that kind of confirmed to me that, okay, I really want to do this. So after that, I went to pursue my master's in nutrition and dietetics at the University of Sydney. And here we are, basically.
Jeez. And you're an ex-personal trainer, though. Why an ex-personal trainer?
Oh, because
so you don't do that anymore?
Not much. The main focus is my nutrition business. I coach part-time group coaching just out of passion. I do still want to coach. So that's like a small part of my life, but the bigger part is the nutrition stuff.
Are you anal about nutrition though? I mean, like healthy eating and stuff like this? Because earlier you said, man, I love eating. But looking at you, are you like one of those
I'm a balanced person. No.
So what do you eat?
So the other day, this company asked, how do you get a dietitian approved thing? And then I was like, but there's nothing that I don't approve of. So, yeah, so
really?
There's that. Yeah.
Even like junk food?
So context is very important when it comes to nutrition because everyone will be in a different state or lifestyle, a different stage of life, for example. So let me give you an example. Let's use fruit juice, okay? So for the general population, basically we're mostly, I would say, sedentary, not that active, and when it comes to either fruit or fruit juice for the general population, I would say go for the fruit. Eat the whole fruit because you're going to get your fiber, your vitamins, your nutrients, all that thing, right? But if we're talking about an athlete population, for example, where their energy needs are huge and they're trying to meet their energy needs and they're probably training twice daily. We're talking about elite athletes here. And they probably struggle to get in enough calories. So juice to them is like, it's something that they can take in.
And they'll burn it off like nothing.
Oh, yeah, right? Yeah. And it's faster absorption, so they can recover in between, stuff like that. So context is very important. So juice is not good or bad. It's just who is having it.
Because I remember, like, at some point somebody told me juice, even if it's like fresh fruit that's been juiced, it's got a lot of sugars in it. I'm like, yeah, but you're not adding sugar to it. But then it's got all the O's in it. I'm like, what the hell's an O's? Then there's fructose and
okay, so the thing about that is that if you look at juice, right? How many fruit is it going to take you to make 1 cup of juice? Have you made juice before?
Yeah.
Okay, so how many fruits did it take you to make 1 cup?
Now, when I say juice, I usually just buy like one big watermelon. That's as much juicing as I'll ever make.
Okay.
Right? Or it's just like lime with water and stuff like that.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. What people normally do is like, let's say orange juice, for example.
Yeah.
1 tiny cup, you probably need at least 5 oranges. Right?
Really?
Yeah.
Tiny cup is 5 oranges.
5, about 5. But if I ask you to eat an orange, you're not going to eat 5 oranges.
No.
Yeah, no. Because why? First of all, fiber is filling. It fills you up, right?
Right.
But in that tiny cup, you get 5. So you're getting the sugars and calories from the 5 oranges all in 1 tiny cup. And it doesn't even fill you up. So it's easy to overdrink. And that adds up in terms of calories. So it's not really like the sugar per se, but it's calories. It still counts, yeah.
So I've been doing this all wrong, right? So I'm walking around a mall, and I used to work in a mall, in an office in a mall, but I'm like, ooh, you know what? I'm not going to have that cup of coffee because I don't want to add sugar and milk or whatever. I'm going to go get myself a juice because I'm healthy that way and stuff, right? So
I would say, okay, like I said, context is very important. So if you're like an active person and everything, it's fine. You can have your juice for sure. But I would encourage general population, go for the fruit instead. And drink water.
PS4, that's pretty active. I'm
you're
burning
a lot of muscles here.
There, right? But food-wise, we talked about fruits and stuff. We generally don't eat enough fruits as it is.
Yes.
Malaysians. I think pretty much in the whole world, people don't eat enough fruits. What's that? 5 fruit and veg every day or something, right? But we live in Malaysia, for crying out loud. We're filled with like the best foods ever. How do you stay healthy? How do you stay nutritious when you have a choice of... And when you go to the mall, you see this salad place, which my executive producer is eating right now. But you have this salad place, and also you have char kway teow. And man, that's good. So how do you... There's nothing in between that where you want to be kind of healthy, but kind of also want to have Malaysian food, right? Is there healthy Malaysian food?
Yeah. Okay, so when we're talking about weight, fat loss, fat gain, it all comes down to energy balance. So technically speaking, you can have all these foods and still keep within your energy balance. So for example, let's say you need 2,000 calories to maintain your weight, right?
Okay.
And let's say right now, okay, I want to lose weight. So all you need to do is create what we call a calorie deficit. So eating less than what your body needs. So let's say, example, you need 2,000. If you want to lose weight, you need to eat anything less than that. So let's say we set it at 1,006, just an example. And technically speaking, within the 1,006, you can eat whatever you want, as long as within the 1,006. Okay?
Whatever I want.
Yes, whatever you want. Now, of course, you also need to consider the nutrients in your food, because things like fiber, antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, you still need to get this from your food, and these will help you to thrive. Okay? And of course, the other thing that you need to consider is whether or not you are able to manage your hunger and appetite. Yeah. So that's
because I get hangry.
Yep. And so the thing about things like char kway teow, nasi lemak, they are what we call hyper palatable, aka super tasty. Basically, when foods are super tasty, they're harder to control.
Yeah.
It just drives you to eat more, and that's the problem with it. It just drives you to eat more, which means that it's harder to keep the energy balance with these foods, okay? So I will say that with any goal, with any health goal, there are sacrifices, there are trade-offs, okay? The higher the goal, the higher the trade-off. Just like work. You want more money, you gotta work harder. There's no such thing as, just sitting down there and get all your money for nothing. I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you want to eat your nasi lemak, go ahead. But just don't have it like 24/7. You can have it like twice a week. Just find that middle ground.
So back to the juice thing. So one cup a week is okay?
Yeah.
You would think?
I would think it's okay in the context of the whole, in context of your whole diet.
How many calories is that?
I would need to see what are you eating the rest of the time as well.
That's another thing that I don't even know how many calories is in this, how many calories is in that, because some restaurants you go to actually helps you with the calorie counting and whatnot, right? But some people also say, some experts say, you should not be so overly focused on calories and calorie counting. How do you figure that out?
Okay, so what I normally encourage my clients to do is to track their calories or track their food intake just for a time, because this gives you knowledge. This teaches you how. Don't obsess over it. So I also don't encourage obsessing over it. And of course, I do screen my clients. So if my clients have a history of like eating disorder and stuff like that, I do not encourage that. But yeah, for the vast majority, I would say it's really good to track your calories and to know what's in your food. And it's very valuable information because you're eating food every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you track for a time, like let's say 2 weeks, and by then, okay, I don't know. This is very subjective, so everyone will have a different time of how well they will learn. So I would just say but as a general, I would just say track for 2 weeks. You might learn a lot from that 2 weeks, and from there you can guesstimate.
So, yeah, and then it's kind of like how much money you would spend on something that you know, like if I want to buy like economy rice chap fan, I know I'm going to pay $7.50 every single time. I won't have to think about it the next time.
Yes, correct. Right.
In a way, right?
Exactly.
Okay, that kind of makes sense, but still, that takes the fun out of this.
Of course,
right?
of course. But like I said, it's all down to your goals.
So no pain, no gain.
Yeah.
Basically. So if I want to be healthy and eat nutritiously, but I don't work out, does that work as well? I gotta kind of work out.
No, definitely not. Okay, so
because isn't it true? The people in Japan, the blue zone, where's that place? Okinawa.
Okay.
Right? I don't know whether they do much exercising, but they eat really healthy food, really good food. The fish is like
I
super
think they
clean.
walk a lot more as well. Like walking, cycling, a lot more outdoorsy stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So when we talk about health, it's not just nutrition. It's everything else. It's exercise, sleep, stress management. Are you having fun? That kind of thing. Okay, so it's not just like nutrition. So I do have people who just zone in on the nutrition, but they smoke and drink like crazy. So, and then they worry about whether or not my vegetables are organic, and they don't even eat enough vegetables. So I'm like, you're majoring in the minors. The problem is you're not even eating your vegetables in the first place. Yeah. So that's the kind of thing that I grapple with every single day.
Minors.
Yeah.
That is brilliant. What do you seriously think of? Certain places have healthier foods. Is there any truth to that where you live, you're going to be healthier?
Yeah, I would say your environment plays a huge role in your food choice and how much you eat.
Right.
So if it's in your environment, you're definitely more likely to have it.
Right.
So there are studies that are done that when something is placed on someone's table, they're like more likely to have it. And if it's just like 1 meter away, they have less of it. So, and 1 meter is not very far away. So this is how powerful your environment is. So I would say definitely our environment does play a role in how much and what we eat. And I guess part of it is culture. And I guess, and I do like culture. And I do think that we do need to, get into these culture things once in a while. But I guess with that, we do need to see how much we're eating, so we still can control the amount we're eating. So we can still eat the same foods.
It goes back to your
amount.
Yeah, like you say nasi lemak. Yes, eat it, but eat it once a week.
Yeah, correct. Like decrease some. Yeah, find your middle ground.
Right.
And don't forget vegetables and things like that as well.
Yeah, because when I think about it, right, when you say environment, let's say the US.
Yeah.
People laugh at people who live in LA because they eat their kale, they eat their avocado toast, they eat super healthy, and they have their quinoas and couscous and everything. They're super healthy over there. But LA is like it's a stressful place to be in, right? And then probably people work out like crazy over there. So they're very obsessed about eating properly over there. That I understand, right? Here, you can't have your quinoas and whatever, right? Number one, the cost is going to kill you. I've actually gone to the supermarkets where all the healthy food sections and the organic food and this and that, whatever, it's super expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive.
So how do you live if you want to go that way and eat super healthy, super clean, super organic? It's super expensive, right? How do you do it?
So this is the power of portion control, okay? So I do have a client. She lost 30 kilos to date without cooking.
And how
So
long?
she only ate, okay, so it's over 1.5 years.
Right, okay.
Okay? And she eats out. So she lives in like a hostel that the fridge is, questionable. You can't really put stuff in there.
Shared, right,
yeah, shared and stuff like that. So she relies on things like chap fan.
Right.
So all she did was practice healthy behaviors. So things like vegetables, fruits, protein, carbs, manage how much you have.
Even eating out.
Yeah, even eating out. So she ate out. And exercise, sleeping well, not binge eating when you're stressed, finding other things to do when you're stressed. So these are the things that, so it's possible. So healthy, like I said, healthy is not just nutrition. And I don't really see healthy as you need to eat this sort of thing. So, like, for example, like what do you say? Like kale, quinoa, chia seeds, and all these things, and
non-GMO
I don't know, water from some mountain. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
So why are these? They're not. I don't know. I would say yes, they're better in some things, but at the end of the day, you can be healthy as well without these things.
When it comes to men and women, I suppose, what should my ideal diet be? Like, if I was a 30-year-old man, I live a generally healthy life. I don't smoke. I drink once in a while and everything. How do I still have all that enjoyment without it affecting my health?
Well, ideally, you still need a wide variety of vegetables, fruits, lean proteins.
When I say wide variety, that means I always have to have different vegetables all the time.
Well, it's encouraged to have a different one because fruits and vegetables have different color, and every different color will have a different nutrient profile. So if you want to get the most out of everything, eat a wide variety, different color. Yeah.
So if I go vegan, it's great.
When we talk about vegan diet, right? Okay, I will say that in general, population, we are definitely not eating enough vegetables. Okay, so that's something that I really advocate.
That's not a Malaysian thing, though. It's globally.
Yeah, globally. Right. So we are generally not eating enough vegetables. So if you see my Instagram, I always hashtag eat your veggies.
I see that.
So I always encourage people to eat more veggies. Now, vegan is a very extreme way of doing it. Now the question is, do you need to go to the extremes to elicit those kind of benefits?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is another question.
Don't go to the extremes.
Yeah.
Basically.
So okay. Of course, there are different reasons why people go vegan.
Yeah.
We're not going to discuss the ethical, environmental, animal welfare thing because that's one.
If it's just purely health.
So I'm just talking about the nutrition side.
Yeah.
So and studies have shown that vegans, vegetarians, omnivores, when it comes to mortality rates, comparable. Because like I said, there's a lot of other elements when it comes to health as well. So not just nutrition, right? So yes, I do encourage people to eat more vegetables. But again, do you need to go to extremes? And now when we go to extremes, now this is where the problem comes. People usually get stressed out about it because it's restrictive and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And when you stress out about your food, that in itself is not healthy. So again, question mark. But of course, if you love the vegan diet, you know that it helps you and you just generally like it, then go for it. But don't think it's going to give you like superpowers or anything like that.
No, okay.
Yeah.
I saw this Netflix show. What's it called? The one?
Game changer.
Yes, Game Changer. Where everybody kept saying, have you seen a gorilla? A gorilla only eats like vegetables. And then look at how they just market it really well.
Of course, yeah.
Right, I think, and it's also this cult thing where they're trying to get everybody to be the same way. But I think from an environmental standpoint, there's a lot of issues with eating way too much soy as well, right? And also, I heard that if you eat, especially for men, if you eat way too much soy, you...
Okay, that's another one.
That's a whole other thing. We'll get to the myths and stuff like that later on, right? But I just want to be eating a bit healthier. I don't want to go to school to learn all this. So who do I speak to about getting all these nutritional facts? But you're not going to be with me the whole time, right?
Okay, so generally speaking, I would say credible sources and people. I can tell you where not to get your information from. So generally, I would say social media, documentaries, or your fit trainer or friend if they're not qualified. Don't get it from there. But there are pretty good resources out there. So I normally turn to the evidence. So I read like research papers and stuff. So, but you can go to like dietitians, like websites and stuff like that.
So I got to do research to eat.
Well, there are guides.
I mean,
there are guides.
Yeah.
Guides.
Because I want to make it as simple as I'm going to go to the supermarket.
Yep.
There's this sheet of paper that it says, don't know how many calories and this is what nutrition you get. And I just buy the thing. Go home, cook it, and I'll be healthy. But that is already partly like they're pushing for this product. They're telling you that it's got this is going to be healthy for you. That's already lying to you, right? So I need to go and also try to figure out, I got to go to this dietitian's website, try to figure out what it is. Is there an easier way, basically? That's all I'm asking.
Okay, if you want like a really easy way, just follow the plate rule.
What's the plate rule?
Half of it, fill it with vegetables, quarter carbs, and quarter protein. That's the easiest way to go. But that's a very general thing.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing that since like my mom.
But it works. It works.
Really?
Yeah, it does. It works. It's as simple as that.
Why can't I just take like? It's very, very fun. It's very, very hard to try to stay healthy, eat well, eat healthy.
Like I said, there will be trade-offs. There will be sacrifices.
I get
you need
that.
to put in work, for sure.
Okay, because you need what? You need vitamins you're getting certain vitamins in this food and everything. Pop a pill, man. Right? Isn't that easier? Just go to some pharmacy, get a bunch of like vitamins, and then just supplement yourself.
So the thing about that is that there are so many nutrients out there in like fruits and vegetables that scientists haven't even begun to extract it yet. So how do you know that pill has everything that's in the fruits and vegetables?
Orange juice, coming from an orange, vitamin C pill.
What about fiber? What about all the other polyphenols that's inside? What about all the antioxidants that's inside that scientists don't even know about yet that do add to health?
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So that's the shortcut way. And like I said, with any good thing that's worth having, there's no shortcuts.
So you're not.
It's the same thing with health. You can't just pop a pill.
So you're not a pill popper. You
No.
don't do supplements at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. So that's another thing there. When it comes to supplements, the industry, it's very hard to know what's actually inside and how much can you actually get from it.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And also, it's again marketing, right?
Yeah. And, well, we know that it doesn't increase your lifespan per se.
Right.
So it's a cost and benefit thing.
Like,
do you actually want to spend this amount of money when you might probably just die the same age?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't know when you're going to die.
No, you don't know. Exactly. You don't know. So people take it like insurance.
Yeah.
Like
I know one thing I don't do anymore is multivitamins because I don't know what the hell I'm eating. Right? I don't know what the hell I'm putting into my system, and I need iron, this, that, whatever. But I've got doctor friends who tell me, "Oh, you need to take more vitamin D3 because it's good for fatty liver and stuff like that. You drink a lot, right, JD?" And then he laughs. I'm like, "Really? Okay, fine. I'm hunting for it. Some vitamins, some supplements, you have to admit, they do better in pill form than in natural.
Oh yeah, for sure. So that, I'm not saying that all supplements are bad.
Yep.
But I would encourage doctors prescribed medication.
Yep.
Yeah. So if it's prescribed by a doctor, please take it. Don't stop taking it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always on a case by case basis. So if you know that you are truly deficient in something, then yes, supplement with it.
Right.
Yeah. And try to go specific because like multivites, they're like a bunch of everything. So over supplementation can be a problem as well.
Right. That means you're doing nothing.
And you're making it worse. Yeah. Exactly.
I'll have my vegan diet of beer and chips, and wait, that's not healthy. So I'm just popping pills. Yeah, because technically you're technically a vegan, but then I'm getting all my vitamins here. But that doesn't work as well, right?
No.
Cool. So I'm trying to be a better version of myself.
Okay.
That's the whole purpose of what we're doing here. I think all men need to be better versions of themselves. I'm not trying to be fucking an MMA fighter at my age, okay? I just want to be healthier. I want to live longer for my family and stuff like this, all right? So I want to eat better. That starts with eating better. I don't know where to start. There's so many different diets out there. What is your go-to ideal diet? There's a lot of fad diets, I know.
Yeah.
Right? What is your go-to diet plan for your clients? Is there one?
Well, I'm an advocate for moderation, sustainable eating. So I'm an inclusive diet. Everything's included. There's nothing that's not included.
No, that's my diet as well.
Unless
I'm on a
you're-
seafood diet. I seafood, I eat it, man. Right? But that's a bit different, right?
Yeah,
So
of course.
eat sparingly. Is that it? Is that what it means?
Yeah, that's what I do. So, like I said just now, fruits, vegetables, proteins, carbs, healthy fats and oils. And once you've done all of that, then you can sprinkle in all your fun foods. Keep you sane.
Right. Cheat days. Are you game for that or no?
No.
Don't have cheat days.
No.
Just keep going at it.
Yeah. Yes.
So I'll
'Cause-
never have a Big Mac like ever.
Why not? You can.
I can't have a Big
You
Mac.
can, of course you can.
How does it fit? It doesn't
So the
sound
cheat,
healthy at all.
day is kind of like, it's a mindset thing. It's kind of like, I need to do it all this now. because after that I can't have it anymore. So that's the restriction mindset. That's where the cheat days come in. So I'm in all inclusive. So there's no such thing as a cheat day. Because if you want it, you can have it. But you just need to know that you might take, by having that, you might just take one step back. And if you're okay with that, it's fine. At the end of the day, it's your goal and it's your health.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you guilt trip me out of...
I put you in the driver's seat. Control. You're in control. You're in the driver's seat. Don't let anyone tell you what to do. You are in control.
So if I do that, it's one step back. Do you think that if I go on a cheat day, that's like taking more steps back?
Possibly, because like I said, it's the mindset. It's kind of like, okay, I have today to do it. Otherwise, I don't have to wait for like the next weekend or something like that. So it's the mindset. So you would probably go all out. Then if I were to tell you, you can have a little bit here, you can have a little bit there, it's probably just different. Yeah, your approach might be different.
What do you think of all these fad diets though? Really? Like keto.
Okay, what about keto?
Are you into it? Have you done it?
No, definitely not.
Why not?
So, okay, let's explain what keto is for all the listeners out there. So basically, keto diet is a very high fat diet. We're talking about like 80 to 90% fat. Max maybe 15% protein, because if you too much protein, it would throw you out of ketosis as well.
Right.
And carbs almost 0 to 5%, around there.
Right.
Okay? So that's the keto diet. Now, the keto diet is actually a therapeutic diet. Clinically, there are uses for it. So in like neurodegenerative diseases, epilepsy, seizure, people actually use this, and the evidence there is pretty robust.
Right.
Now, the problem is that media makes it like a fad diet, and especially the claims around like fat loss, or that it's better than all the other diets out there, or the carbohydrate insulin model where insulin is stopping you from losing fat.
Right.
And all of these have been debunked by really well-controlled metabolic ward studies and studies that actually control the variables like calories and protein. It is found that it's not superior to any other diet. It's basically a way to create a calorie deficit. Basically, like I said, all you need to do when it comes to fat loss is to create a calorie deficit. Now, the keto diet makes it easy because carbs is in so many things. If I ask you to stop eating carbs right now, how many things are you actually going to cut out, right? And obviously, just by doing that, you are indirectly creating a calorie deficit already.
Right.
Okay? And like I said, it's not a superior diet. And the thing about keto is that a lot of people lose a lot of weight initially, and that's because they lose a lot of water weight. So carbohydrates in the body, they're stored as glycogen. And glycogen, with every gram of glycogen, holds 3 grams of water. So if you cut out carbs, your body's gonna use off your glycogen, and you're gonna lose it. You're gonna lose the water weight as well. So that's why during the initial 1 or 2 weeks, your weight is like a huge drop. But that's mostly water weight. And then if you're truly in a deficit later on, yes, you will lose fat eventually. So yeah, it's another way to create a calorie deficit. Now, this is where individual comes in. So if you tell me, like, I really like high-fat food, I don't like carbs, I don't want to...
Then it's for you, right?
Yeah, it's for you. It's for you. So I have clients who have gone on keto, and I've helped them through that. And yeah, they like it.
What's high-fat food, though? Like,
okay, so...
like if I eat a char siu full of fat, and then I'm like, that's it. All I'll be having is char siu.
So that's the thing. So what are you getting? Where are you getting your fats from, right? So mostly it should be things like avocado, olive oil, nuts and seeds.
Oh, okay,
fish,
okay,
oily
right.
fish. That
Needs to
kind
be
of
healthy,
thing. Yes,
healthy fats.
Of course, not like the bacon and the butter and the things like
Man,
that.
I was like, yes, finally got my thing.
Yeah.
But keto diet's not a long-term thing, right? You can't do it long-term.
So that's the thing. So So the question when it comes to every diet is sustainability. Can you sustain it? That's the biggest question. Right. Because the perfect plan on paper is completely useless if you cannot even follow it. So like, what's the point, right? So the question that I always ask people is it sustainable? Is it sustainable for you? If your answer is yes, by all means, go ahead. Now, this is where the problem of the keto diet is very restrictive and usually not sustainable. And fat loss in itself is very hard to do. So why do you want to make your life harder by going on a diet that's so restrictive and so hard, right?
Yeah.
So those are some of the things that I throw at people. to really think about it.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's not superior to any other diet. So why do you need to go to the extremes for it? Yeah.
I did something like that.
Okay.
It's probably not the most healthy thing because it was a campaign I did, and it was some slimming center, and they did like I was wrapped up in this plastic thing, and then hot blankets and stuff like you've heard it before, right?
Yeah.
The first thing they told me was that you can have as much coffee as you want,
Yeah.
right? But you can't have any sugar. You can't have rice. You can't have any. It's a carb thing, so it's a calorie. What do you call it thing?
Deficit.
Calorie deficit thing. I was pissed off most of the time, right? My body kind of ached. I couldn't work out properly, and everything was just horrible, right? All I remember is,
Of course.
right? All I remember from that experience was that I never ever want to do it again. Intermittent fasting is a whole other thing. Number one,
yeah.
I don't get enough sleep as well, right? Because I'm eating at weird hours and shit like that. Is that better than keto in a way?
Again, intermittent fasting, when it comes context of fat loss, another way to create a calorie deficit, because you're taking a whole meal out and you're shortening the window, so you only have that certain time.
So everything has a pain thing.
Of course. Like I said, anything worth having, you have to put in some bit of effort. Now, putting in a bit of effort, there are different grades to it, right? So, what I like to do, this is why what I do is I really focus on habits and behaviors.
Right.
So I don't put people on like restrictive diets because, like you said, they don't last. So what I do is I build in healthy habits step by step. Okay, so that because habits are the things that people are going to do for the rest of their lives. So for example, like brushing your teeth. It's a habit, right? So even if you're stressed or you go on holiday, you're still going to brush your teeth because it's a habit. So this is what I aim when it comes to food and exercise as well, to make it a habit such that it's not like a pain. And I do it in a very step-by-step approach, meaning to say it can be so easy that you would actually laugh and like, is this all I need to do? That kind of thing.
Like what? Like what?
So very simple is, okay, so let's say I have a client who comes in, eats maybe like you, and wants to be healthy, right? So I would just say, okay, for this week, your only task is to eat one piece of fruit. That's it.
On top of everything else that I'm doing.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Eat one piece of fruit. Yeah. It's like, you're like, it's easy, right?
Like what?
Yeah.
An apple?
Yeah, an apple, exactly.
Okay.
So that's what I get them to do. 1 week, you done it, we challenge you the next week. Maybe two fruits.
And I don't have to cut out any.
No, nothing.
How does that help?
Okay. That's why I like the method that I like to do is add in instead of cutting out. So add in all these healthy habits.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I slowly work on other things. Maybe I get you to walk a little bit more. Maybe 1 km more or something like that.
Right.
Or increase your steps by 1,000 a day. Yeah. And then we slowly build on that. So after the fruits, you've nailed the fruits. You are having 2 a day. Now we work on the vegetables. Just 1 serving a week, maybe. As easy as that. As easy as that. And then once you've mastered that 1 serving, let's have 2 a day.
What do people who don't like eating vegetables? Because I know something about you. We were talking right before we
yeah.
started, right? You hated vegetables.
Oh yeah, I hated vegetables.
How do you get people to actually like eating vegetables?
That's a good question.
Because
Explore.
they're supposed to have vegetables in the system,
Of
but if they
course.
don't like it, what do you do?
Okay, so I do have this client that that really is very picky about vegetables, and she hates vegetables. And she only has a few that she really likes. So I'm sure out of all the vegetables, there will at least be 1 or 2 that you like. I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah, so if you haven't found it, I would say go and find, because there's a ton of variety out there. And I would say explore different ways of cooking them as well. So my client likes things like onion, garlic, pumpkin, that's a starchy veg. I think eggplant was it, and carrot, and tomatoes and things like that. So I was like, okay, fine, just stick with these. Just have more of these in your diet. Yeah. So I push them where they're comfortable at. So if they say, come on, challenge me, I want to eat something else, yeah, fine. Explore different things. So
It doesn't have to be green.
well, not technically, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as it's something. Something is better than nothing.
Okay.
Yeah. So so this is where the habit forming thing comes in. And like what we're talking about just now, like reality shows where they push people to the max, because you're expecting so much of them when they can only do this. So people are definitely going to give up at some point. If you have such a high goal, but you don't build it to get that point, you make them go there straight away, it's definitely going to be hard.
Yeah, I remember a friend of mine was on The Biggest Loser,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
right? He lost a ton. He looked great at one point. Then he put on even more, right? Because it was like it was a strange experience. He said like what you said, like you're not allowed to have certain foods.
Yeah.
And it's very regimented. It's like
Oh, yeah.
the army and stuff like this.
Oh, yeah.
It's worse than the army actually, and it gets your body craves everything, and then you look great for a while. And you feel, maybe you don't even feel great, but you look great, and they're telling your brain that, hey, it was all worth it. But I think,
Your physiology is a lot stronger.
yeah,
Yeah.
right, in this
And
way.
it's well known in the literature. So if you have like the black and white thinking, like all or nothing, restrictive, I can't have this, I can't have that, that actually leads to a lot of problems,
Yeah,
including a higher BMI, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of problems with that. That's why my approach is all-inclusive. You can have whatever you want. Just need to be smart about it.
now let's debunk some myths.
Okay.
If you're ready for it.
Let's go.
You should detox regularly.
Okay. Myth.
Myth?
Myth.
What's wrong with detoxing?
What are you trying to detox? What is it that a supplement or a substance can do that your liver, kidney, skin, and lungs cannot do?
Really?
Yes. Those are way better than what you can get out there. They help you detox daily, and it's in you. Your body's really robust.
So what's this like all liquid thing where you have to do it like you don't eat anything for like a whole day, just drink fluids, and then you clean out your system?
What are you trying to clean?
I don't know.
Exactly, I don't know. You
What
ask
did-
them. Maybe you can ask them. Well, what are you trying to clean?
They always tell you that you've got toxins in your system. What kind of toxins
Your
are you
liver
talking
and
about?
kidney will get rid of them.
Like
for you.
MSG and oil and
I have no idea
and
what they're trying to get
alcohol
rid
and
of.
stuff like this. No?
I don't know what.
Really?
Yeah.
Detox doesn't work
No,
at all.
not at all.
You're saying
And people say things like, okay, I want to detox and give your system or your intestines a break.
yes,
Why do they need a break? What about putting your heart on a break? What will happen?
you die.
Exactly. We know our body, like I said, our bodies are robust. It's meant to work. It's meant to do what it's meant to do. So why do you need to do something extra?
Right? But what if your body's overworking, like your liver is overworking? Don't you
How
need to
would
give
you-
it a break?
Okay, so there are clinical ways, like when you're talking about detox. So let's say, for example, if someone is intoxicated or something, yes, there are protocols to detox, so but that's a different thing.
Right.
But what we're talking about here is commercial kind of detox, like where you, I don't know, take a pill or something and flush out
Yeah, they'll say
whatever. I don't know what they're trying
your
to.
skin will look more radiant
I
and you
don't know.
look
So
fresher.
okay, so the thing about detox diet, so-called detox diet, it also encourages you to eat more fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, yeah.
One thing. Like
Yeah.
I said, a lot of people don't do that already. So
Right.
that's the problem. So when you start adding these in, of course you'll see some sort of benefit. And detox diets normally, like for a week, they get you to cut out things, and usually what people cut out is like the junk foods that they are overeating in the first place.
Right.
So you remove that, you add in more fruits and vegetables, of course you're gonna feel better. But it's not because the detox did something. It's because all these things you're not even doing before.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I got this detox days. Remember, I told you about the
Yeah.
slimming place
Yeah,
I went
yeah,
to, right?
yeah.
Yeah, they said detox.
So do you feel more zen?
I don't
and
know.
detoxified?
It was just such a bad experience. I just don't want to remember it. You know? Okay, let's get to another one. Let's talk about red meat.
Okay. Oh, controversial.
Why? Okay, wait, okay.
Yeah.
Red meat.
Okay.
Delicious, okay, but too much is bad for you.
I would say yes, because
Or just is red
There's-
meat bad for you in general?
no, it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. But you see, when we're looking at, like, let's say, for example, the Western diet, they have a lot.
Of red meat.
Yeah, it's like overly too much, and too. There's always such a thing as too much of a good thing. Okay, so anything if it's too much is not great. It's always the dose that makes the poison.
Right.
Okay, so even if something is good for you, you should also not overdo it. So even like water, you should not overdo water. As
Oh,
well.
yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, same thing.
What do you
So-
get from if you drink too much water, your system shuts down? or
No,
something?
not really. But so your kidneys can actually balance it out for you.
Right.
But yeah, there is such a thing as having too much of something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So red meat is okay,
Yeah.
depending on whether... Because if you have gout, obviously you don't...
Okay, so gout depends on a lot of different things. There's also people with gout, they react to different foods. So you need to find what foods you're sensitive to.
Right.
And then you adjust accordingly. Yeah.
Tell me if this is true or not.
Okay.
This is only for girls, right? When they have their time of the month,
Okay.
they need to eat red meat. Is that true?
Oh, yeah. So this is the iron part. Remember I talked about
Right,
iron?
right.
Higher iron.
Yeah.
So, yes, because our requirements are a little bit more. So we do lose it each month. So we do need a little bit more. And the good sources would be from like things like red meat, meats basically, or offal, things like that. You can get it. So there are two different types of iron. There's what heme iron is non-heme iron. So heme iron is from animal-based foods. Non-heme iron is from like vegetables and stuff.
Right.
So the absorption from heme iron is better. So things like red meat.
Right.
The non-heme iron, we can absorb it, but it's just not that great. The bioavailability of it is not great. So we need something to help us absorb it, which is like vitamin C, for example.
Right.
Yeah. So we combine it, and then and we'll get it. We'll
Okay.
get enough of it. Yeah. Yeah.
That is fascinating. Okay, next one. Fasting is good for you. Is that a myth or is that true? That's true, right?
Can you
Fasting is
define
for you.
good? What's good?
Good for your health. Good for I don't know, it cleans up. People say it cleans out your system. What the hell does that mean?
Okay, so fasting, what I like about fasting is how it teaches people to be okay with hunger and not act on impulse.
Oh, actually,
I like the behavior part. Because these days, when we see food, we eat food, right?
Yeah.
So that's a seafood diet. So what I like about intermittent fasting is that it teaches you to sit with hunger and like, okay, I'm not gonna die. And it gives you time to think like, am I really hungry?
Yeah.
Do I really need to eat that? So I actually like intermittent fasting for that behavioral part of it. When it comes to health, there are some preliminary findings where it does help with people like metabolic diseases, for example. So type 2, insulin resistance, that kind of thing. It does seem to help a bit. But it's still very new, so a lot of research is still coming out of it. So we don't know for sure what the protocol is, because fasting is so many types, right? It's like 5 to 16, 8, all these different protocols. And in many different studies, they use different protocols. It's also very hard to draw a conclusion from that. So, but we know that some sort of fasting does help, or rather, AKA not eating 24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you sleep, that's kind of like a fast as well. Yeah. So if people want to try fasting, what I normally tell them is, if you want to try some sort of fasting and you want to make it pragmatic, right? Pragmatically speaking. So I tell them to bring forward their dinner by 1 hour, whatever time that may be. So if your dinner is at 10, just bring 1 hour forward and push your breakfast 1 hour ahead. So you create that.
Okay.
So you're doing some sort of fasting, but you're applying it to you. So whatever breakfast time you have, push it 1 hour later. Whatever dinner time, just bring it 1 hour forward.
But when you break fast, also don't overeat and stuff like that. So you manage it again, right?
Yes, of course, manage it. So the thing about intermittent fasting, it does help some people manage appetite better because you're having bigger meals in a smaller window. So it does help people manage hunger and appetite better. So again, if that is you, it helps you, go ahead. But again, we don't know for sure what is the exact protocol to elicit this sort of health benefits. So yeah, I can't say for sure that, okay, if you fast, you're going to live longer. We don't know.
Okay, next one. More protein is good. Protein is good.
Protein is good.
Okay.
More is, what's more?
Okay, is there a limit to how much a person needs protein? Or is that depending on who it is?
It depends on who it is, what their goal is. Okay, so for example, if let's say fat loss, right? If let's say someone wants to lose fat, wants to build muscle at the same time, they can do it at the same time. Protein needs to be at the higher end, and of course you have to couple that with resistance training, strength training. That's where the building of the muscle happens. And yeah, so in that sense, protein does need a little bit higher. It needs to be higher if the person is a lot leaner and they don't have much fat to lose per se. If the person has still quite a bit of fat to lose, then the protein does not need to be that high. But of course, and protein is good to help with satiety. So it helps you keeps you full longer. And like I said, hunger is one of the things that people battle with, especially when it comes to fat loss, right?
Yeah.
So protein does help with that. And I would say there is no extra benefit if you go over a certain limit. So right now the limit seems to be like 3.3 grams per kilogram of body weight, that kind of thing. There are studies that studied up to 4 and no ill effects from it. But the question is, if you're driving protein so high, it means that your carbs and fats need to be low. And is that optimal?
The balance again.
Yeah, again, the balance. So is that optimal? So again, the protein, high is good, high is okay, but higher doesn't mean you're going to gain more muscle, for example. Yeah, so there's always like a threshold.
Right.
Yeah. And that threshold will depend on the individual. Right. Case by case basis. Yeah.
Because not like if I have a steak every day, right? High protein stuff and high fat as well in some cases, it's going to be great. But if you have like, with every meal I've got fries and it's deep fried and everything is going to be great and whatnot, right? So, okay. Next. Frozen and canned fruits and veggies are less nutritious
I love this one.
than fresh ones. True, false?
False.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Okay, so
What's the point of us like buying fresh fruit?
okay, so when we're talking about nutrient-wise, right? The best is if you can get your fruits and vegetables like fresh, like pick it out from the ground and then you eat it, right? But these days, it gets shipped to the supermarket, and it sits there for a few days. And then you buy it, you put it in your fridge.
So
it sits there for a few days, right? So as time goes by, the nutrient levels actually start to drop. And that's why fruits rot in the end. Fruits and vegetables rot in the end. That's the process that happens. Now, with freezing, when you pick the vegetables, what happens is they freeze it right away. And the freezing process stops the breakdown of the nutrients. That's why they can keep longer.
Okay.
So in the nutrient sense-wise, sometimes they actually can have more than fresh. Now, this is not to say that you need to be like obsessed of fresh or frozen or whatever. The middle ground here is have a combination of both. If you're someone who's like a busy mom, you have no time to shop for like fresh foods, then just go for frozen. It's an option. It's an option. Yes, it's an option. So again, something is better than nothing. It's better than
at least you're having your vegetables.
At least you're having something. Yes, and again, the nutrients might actually even be higher from your fresh, depending on how fresh it is.
Right.
As well. Yeah.
Because it was frozen immediately.
Yes.
Keeps everything. Okay. Yeah. I like this. Foods labeled natural or organic are healthier.
Have you seen that on chips? All natural chips?
Yeah, that's why I only eat certain kinds of chips. I feel so much healthier in that.
Yeah, so again, what is inside? I would say all these labelings are marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is purely just marketing.
So it could be shit that we're eating.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah. And who said these things are healthier?
Yeah.
What is it going to add to you?
There's this famous murtabak place in Penang, in Singapore. And they cook it they don't use ghee. They cook it with olive oil.
Okay.
And apparently it says healthier. If you cook everything with olive oil, technically is it healthier?
Okay, yes. So extra virgin olive oil is really superior.
I don't know whether it's extra virgin.
Okay.
Though. Yeah.
But okay, olive oil in general is superior compared to other oils.
Right.
So it's a really next level kind of thing, high in antioxidants, and you can cook with it. Even as high as 200 degrees. So
extra virgin.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you can because of the antioxidants. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, so that's kind of like a myth that's been
thrown around.
Yeah. So you can cook with it.
I heard that you're not supposed to deep fry or fry stuff with extra virgin olive oil.
It can even perform better than coconut oil.
Wow.
Yeah, because of the antioxidants.
Isn't coconut oil like super healthy though? Is that another myth?
Yes. I would say it's how people use it. So I don't like this term of superfoods, super healthy stuff, because context, right? So for example, coconut oil.
Yeah.
It's okay if you want to have it. Okay, so people say coconut oil is healthy because of all these things inside, right? And in order to get all the good, so-called good stuff to a point that it actually has some benefit to you, you actually have to have a lot.
Right.
And when you have too much, that can easily put you over your calorie limit because that's
because
oil.
we're seeking balance.
Yeah, seeking balance,
Okay,
right?
right.
So if that puts you over, then what's the point?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So fine if you want to cook with it, you know, if you like the taste of it, if you like, fine. But if you're eating like a tablespoon a day, what's that going to do?
Yeah.
That's my question there. Yeah, what's it going to do?
You must be absolutely cocoa nuts to be doing that. Anyway, our next food pyramid. Is the food pyramid a legit? Because we've been seeing that since I was a kid, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
And you go everywhere, there's always that little thing there. Is it legit? Is it something to follow?
There are uses for it, I would say. So, in a public health sense, right? So that's targeting mass, general population. But when it comes down to the individual level, I would say not much use to it.
Okay.
But it does give you some sense.
But it's all there. Vegetables, there's like carbs.
Yeah, so the pyramid, it gives you the idea that the bottom bit is like the most, but sometimes it can vary between individuals. So like I said, when it comes to individual level, not so...
Because everybody needs a different amount.
Yeah.
Right.
But in a general sense, yes, it does help to cover, the general population.
Right. Skinny is healthy.
Depends. And I would say health doesn't really have a look.
Right.
Okay, so there are studies where overweight people who are active have the same mortality rate as their same weight counterparts as healthy individuals.
Serious?
Yes, because they're active. Yeah.
Right. Then why are they overweight if they're active?
Well, you can. There's many reasons to that, right?
Okay.
But so this is the emphasis where healthy behaviors come in. So no matter what size you're at, you still need to exercise.
Okay.
Yeah. And exercise is not to lose weight per se, it's for health.
Right.
You know, people need to think of it that way. Not exercise to lose weight, but for health.
Okay.
Yeah.
One final one.
Yes.
And I've done this before. I had a cleansing of my insides one time.
Okay.
Leg spread and all that. I had hot water or warm water pumped into me to clean out my inner system because it's a colon cleansing. Is that real? Do you really need to cleanse or do you need to clean your insides that way?
No.
No? Really?
No.
Dude, there's so many pictures of stuff
like the
though.
detox thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But they show me pictures of what people have flushed out and stuff.
How do you know they're legit pictures? And not copies?
I didn't pick up the stuff that was actually like flushed out, right? But generally, isn't it a good thing to just keep your insides clean?
No, your insides will do it for you.
There's got to be something that your insides can clean out, right?
Like what?
I don't know, like
No, your inside. You
the
can.
toxins. They always talk about toxins. I don't even know what toxins.
I said exactly. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe you should ask them what toxins they're trying to clear.
So it doesn't work.
I would say it's over.
So I was.
You were put in that position for nothing.
For no rhyme or reason. It was an interesting experience, nonetheless.
Well, you get to talk about it, so
Yeah.
plus point.
Yeah. Something else popped, man. But this has been great. It's been very enlightening for me because there's some things that I just thought were just so like set out in stone.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to be, like the food pyramid thing. But it's not always how it is. Everybody's different. So if you were to, what's your piece of advice for someone who wants to be healthier, eat healthier, eat more nutritious foods? Forget about fitness right now, but maybe they just want to eat a bit better and then move on to fitness. What would that one piece of advice be?
Eat more vegetables.
Really?
Really.
But some people just don't like eating vegetables,
Exactly. That's where the issue is.
Right.
Yeah. So eat more.
Yeah, I've seen people who look fine, without
Like I
vegetables.
said, look. What's a look?
Okay.
What's a look, right?
Okay, so that one piece of advice is,
Hashtag eat your veggies.
and that will solve everything.
Not everything. You said one thing first, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, two. Let's do two. Let's do two. Okay, eat your vegetables. What else?
Aim for minimally processed foods, mostly whole foods, and everything in moderation. Don't be too restrictive. Don't also eat like an idiot. Yeah.
Okay.
Manage your portion sizes. Have fun as well. Don't feel guilty if you eat something that's bad, what society deems as bad. Yeah, and just, have fun. Don't take it too seriously,
Okay.
but also don't go crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will try that because I want to lead a cleaner life. I want to eat healthier and.
So we start with one serve of vegetable a week.
I eat a lot of vegetables.
Okay.
I can do that, man. But I tell you what, if you have any comments on this, or if you want to find out about different things to talk about, something that's just bothering you, get in touch with us. You can hook us up in the comments here or email us at this email address and we will talk about it for you. But Adele, thank you so much for being here. This has
Thanks
been
for having
great.
me.
And we will bring you in again. Give it maybe 3 months and then let's see how I change.
Okay.
All right?
I'm excited for this.
All right. So I can have beers, right?
Yes.
In moderation.
In moderation.
In moderation. That's how it is, man.